Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Reality Roundup. I'm Maddie. That's Mariama. Today we are talking about, or we're starting the season for Challenge All Stars Rivals. I do believe that is how this works now. As we all know, I have no idea about anything about the challenge except for last season. So this is my first All Star season. How are you doing, friend?
I'm good. How are you, Maddie?
I'm doing good. Oh wait. Oh no, never mind. I was going to say something about our reveal, but that video is separate. Never mind.
You can say it. It'll be up. I promise it'll be up before this one.
Okay.
If it's only 30 minutes before.
That's completely fair. The timestamps will hold us out. Okay, so I will say it anyway. Look at our playlist for me blind reacting and being forced to rank people who I have no idea who they are.
You loved ranking this. You asked
I
for
actually
this.
did. I did. Don't I loved it. I had a rip-roaring good time. I don't remember where I put anybody, but I'm assuming you'll remind me.
I do.
Okay, good.
Well, it doesn't really come into play here because since we didn't have an elimination, because I,
Oh,
I do
true.
plan to remind you
Oh
when
God.
your top five goes home the first one. Just joking. But I did go ahead and rank. I didn't get a chance to put it in my computer.
Don't tell me.
No, I'm not going to tell you,
Okay.
but I did go ahead and rank myself on the
Okay.
other side. I mean, why can't I tell you? I kind of want to tell you now.
Well, what did we say? I wanted you to tell me. No, we decided something
You know
last
what? I
time.
you might get more correct than me. No, I don't think you
I'm
will. That my only goal is to get more of the rankings correct than you. But
I
I
think
can
that's
tell
gonna
you
be
who my
easy.
top three are. Do you want to know?
Yes, yes.
Amber and Fessy, Nany and Turbo, Devin and Leroy.
Finishing in that order?
Yes, I have
Okay.
Amber and Fessy winning this season. I think they're the front runners for a win this season. Like they have beef, but their beef isn't like blood curdling like some of the other ones.
John A and Beth.
And also, I do think they will both be able to put aside their disdain for each other to get to that munyan. So, um, and I like Devin and Leroy don't really have beef. Even the whole like when Leroy sent Devin home, it was done in good faith. It was a part of the game. They both kind of like it. Like Leroy was like I think take that, but it was like very tongue in cheek. It was very like
Mm,
joking. I like
mm.
both of their persons. I think if they can stay healthy, they're solid. I also think nobody really wants to see them in an elimination because they are a male pair and they're two of the strongest men in the
Ooh.
in the house as well too.
Okay, when we get an elimination next week, I'll probably get my answers about how that's gonna work. So never mind.
I mean, it won't be physical for the most part. Like
Oh,
it would largely be the elimination since we do have mixed
yeah.
pairs and um female pairs and male pairs. The
Hmm.
games more than likely will just be like a sequence of tasks, and it's probably going to be skew more puzzle heavy than
Okay. Because I
like
was wondering
there will
about
be
that.
physicality, but it just won't be like physical contact. You may see a lot of like resistance stuff or just like body weight stuff. Um,
Okay. Okay.
like
But
to
like definitely not, we're not getting a hall brawl.
well, we're not getting a hall brawl now. If like a guy girl team goes against another guy girl team, we might get a hall brawl or like a something like that. Like the elimination rounds and the stuff
Mm.
would be adjusted. Like if Devin and Leroy, let's say, went against Melissa and Nicole, like it would be very like gamey. Like it wouldn't be super
Yeah.
physical, even if there was like a physical component. Like the weight may be managed based on like the contestant's body weight or
Gotcha.
like
Okay.
resistance or something. But if like Melissa and Nicole went against Beth and John A, we might see a hall brawl because it's
Gotcha.
two
Okay.
two pairs of women.
That makes complete sense. Also, am I wrong in thinking we're in the same place we were for season 40?
We are definitely in Vietnam. I mentioned this to you.
Yeah.
I was like, I think that the money's running out because the budget's getting tight, baby.
But they see, maybe it's just because of the size of the cast, but where they're staying seems infinitely better than where they were staying on season
You know
40.
what? I did not notice. I do know because I read an article that the elimination arena is the same. It's just reconstructed
That does look the same.
with the motif of the airs. I mean, we need to bring back. I mean, I say this, but it's just because I haven't watched the recent seasons. But I feel like we need to bring back some of the old school elimination arenas that we had. I want desperately to see some of this stuff change just a little bit.
That's fair. And again, I say, I think Mariama would be a great candidate for a
Yeah, put me
producer.
in, coach.
Yes, on the
You know what? I might
show.
go apply for jobs over here. To be
Now, wait a
honest,
minute. Now,
no.
please do.
Do you have any other questions before we get started?
Are they always going to be physically tied together?
No.
Okay, because I was like, well, I think that was dramatic. But other than that, no. Oh, well, no, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay. What do you want to start with?
Well, I think we start with our teams, don't we? Like we start with the
Yeah.
people
So you
getting
and
their
I
teams.
already know the teams. Are there any teams specifically you want to talk about? There wasn't a lot of
Oh,
meat
true, we do.
on this episode. So I this will be a short podcast recap.
Yeah.
But so I'm not going to talk about every single team because I don't think every single team deserves conversation. Veronica does come in late. Shout out to her. Um,
Do we
but
have
is there
any idea
anyone
why?
that stood out for you? Huh?
Do we have any idea why?
I don't know. Maybe travel time. Maybe she got kids. That might
that's
be why.
that's completely fair. I do love that. No, nothing that stuck out to me team wise. Nothing that I don't think I already knew. Um, nothing that I think nothing that I didn't already know from our reveal video. So no.
Mm-hmm. So
Hmm.
I mean, I can just talk. Some people that I'm excited to see back. Frank the
Hmm.
Tank. Frank seemed to have undergone a bit of a personality change because I wanted toxic Frank up, but he does seem quite grown up.
He does.
He seems very different from the last time we saw him. He's not carrying as much muscle as he was before. He looks very different. We learned that since he's been gone, he's gotten married. He's gotten his
Hmm.
doctorate in physical therapy.
Yeah.
And he's just tried to mellow out. He was way too intense when we last saw him, and he's just trying to bring that back down. And
Yeah.
I mean, the key thing here with Frank and Sam is just the way they argued and the way he
Mm.
disrespected her verbally frequently.
Uh-oh.
And at the first challenge, Sam is gassing out, and we can see our brother Frank trying so hard to find it.
Oh my God. You can like, I don't know any, well, just from the clips that they showed of previous times where he's been agitated, I was like, I can like see that little twinkle in his eye. Like, I'm trying
That
so
glimpse.
hard.
Oh,
Yes.
when he was in the confessional talking to the to the producer, and he was like, I just don't even know how to say it. She gassed out. I was like, yeah, she gassed out. That's okay.
Yeah.
Like, but just don't curse her out and call her out her name and tell her she's
Yes.
worthless.
Yes.
He
Yes.
did a
We can find a middle ground between
Yeah,
those
for
two things, if
sure.
you will.
She
Hmm.
did. He did a great job of that. I should say. Stuff that I don't care about. Adam and Steve, y'all be all right. Steve, I mean not Steve. Adam is like very angry about Steve stealing his star last season.
Hmm.
Baby, let it go. Like I know you're trying to get some camera time. Let it go.
Okay, Jordan, that's fair.
Let it go. And then who else do we see? Um we see Nicole and Melissa. What are your thoughts on Nicole and Melissa?
I am already obsessed. I am already obsessed with this absolute disaster waiting to happen. Nicole is such a hey mama's lesbian. I literally can't
I
deal.
think I know what that means, and I think it's very accurate.
Yes, it is the F boy
Yes,
lesbian
that's
equivalent.
always how I describe Nicole as an F boy. Like
Yes,
she's a frat bro, like
exactly. A
in a
hey mama's
small woman's
lesbian.
body.
loves to wear a hat, loves to still have long hair, but otherwise is indistinguishable from an F boy.
Yeah, for sure.
And
That's
because
so
like
accurate.
she's talking about her girlfriend in the confessional, and then like how they're taking it slow and like everything is really great and she doesn't want to mess it up. And then immediately is like, but if you put me in a room with a blonde bombshell,
Bombshell.
like, and then he's like, and then she says something along the lines of, well, she's got fake tits. Like, what do you expect from me? And I was like, oh, brother, like,
Sickening.
we are already in trouble.
Um,
I'm obsessed. Also, I need subtitles. Maybe it's just because I was watching it on.
you need subtitles. I need
Yeah,
subtitles.
I
I
was
feel
like,
like
good Lord,
I
what are
feel
you
like I
saying?
can understand Nicole quite well, but Melissa's still like I gotta be tuned in and watching her when she speaks.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Jenny in season 40. I like have to watch what you are saying to me in order to like connect all of the pieces.
We didn't get a lot from too many other people, but we did get a little bit from Ashley K and Dario.
Yeah, I mean, he says something about her still being hot or something like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
I was
Lord.
actually I was thinking also of them at the challenge when um I think she mentions that she wanted him to be like a leader, and he's like, Ashley says she wants a man who takes charge and takes the lead, but play it back. And she
Like,
like
she shushed me.
she's shushing him. She's like, she is the man
Work.
that she wants.
She is the man that she wants, and good for her, damn it. Good for you, babe.
um, who else? I we got the big hitters that I'm trying to save. I'm just trying to see who else we can touch on before we get there. I mean, I feel like we didn't get a lot of, we got a little bit from Kellyanne and Sylvia. I don't know what Sylvia just dislikes Kellyanne. I know she tries to like make it into that they had a problem. Y'all ain't never had that girl ain't did nothing to you. You just don't like that she's a yogi and she's vegan and she's a little funny
And
acting. That's
I don't
it.
like Kellyanne either. So good job, Sylvia.
I love Sylvia, but girl, you know you got no reason to be tight with that girl. You don't
You're
have a
just a
valid
hater.
you don't have a valid reason. You're just a hater. It's in your spirit. You can nothing you can do.
Respectable.
Um,
Respectable.
let's talk about Nany and Turbo.
Oh my God. First of all, why is Turbo dressed like Crocodile Dundee?
You know what? That aside, Turbo did Turbo bring the same set in every color? Every like the two outfits that we saw of Turbo was the exact same set. That like sweater material,
Oh
like
my God.
like oversized shirt, and
Yeah.
we saw him in the all green with the green fanny and his hat, and then we saw him later when he was talking to Nany in the gray with the same set, all gray.
What
And I
is
think
even
I
in that fanny
saw
pack?
and I think I saw him. I don't remember his confessionals, but I saw maybe another clip of him, and he's wearing the same thing in a blue, like a sky blue color. So I was like,
Maybe he did. Maybe he was like,
Turbo
listen,
Turbo got him a uniform for this season. I ain't mad at him.
I am not mad at that at all. Less things to think, fewer things to think about, Turbo. I love that for you. I
And I
want to
like the
know.
hat. I like the hair. I like the beard. He's aged a little bit. Um, and he got a lot of gray going on. He has a lot of rust.
He is giving park ranger in Australia right
Yeah, it's
now.
very
And
very nice. What did you think of
yes.
Turbo and Nany? What did you think here?
He seems to be utterly disinterested in squashing this beef with her,
Yeah,
and she is agitated.
she, she's Nany. Nany's always a little bit like
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Okay,
she's
fair
a
enough.
hothead. She's a bit of a hothead. She's matured a bit, but she still very much is like always ready to pop off. Always got like a stern little face on
Because she
her.
was like crying when she was negotiating, well, not negotiating, but like when they were sitting together to like try to squash the beef. And
Yeah,
he is completely disinterested.
she
Like,
she cannot. I don't. I think this is really going to be. I think they are a very strong team. Like I think they could possibly win this. That's why I have them in second place. I think they're not going to win this because I don't think she can just work with him as is. I think she really needs to have him like
agreed.
verbalize that like, yeah, all's well, like we're doing this, we're getting to the end. I think there's even a point after the challenge where she's like speaks to him and she's like, you see, like we can win this. Like look how well we can. He's like, yeah, we did all right. He's just like, girl, we're coworkers, baby. We'll never be friends because they were
Yeah.
really, really, really good friends. He played his first season with her. She was already like a 9-time, 10-time veteran at that point.
Hmm.
She was one of the best in the game, and he was excellent as a rookie, physically. And they were really, really close. Like they were super, super tight. He was part of the reason that she went home that season. And on the next season that he came on, he I feel like the producers kind of had a hand in this too, but he got kicked off. He was a little bit more aggro. He was in his toxic masculinity era on that second season, and he was trying to fight all the boys. And he got
Oh.
kicked off.
Oh.
And then a lot of the boys that he was interested in fighting happened to be her friends of a long time.
Oh.
And then on his third season, she voted him in, and like he says, he kind of thought that like, hey, like this is Nany, this is my sister, because that's what he's called her. This is my sister. I think at one point he's called her his mom. He was like, Nany's like my mother back home, and back home we respect our mothers or something like that.
Okay, we're doing a lot. Fair enough. Yeah.
But she sent him home, and I think his thing was that she tried to like have a conversation with him about it, like, hey, I'm putting you in because that's what my friends want me to do, and no hard feelings. We can still be cool, right? And he's like, no, no, no. Like you're betraying me right now. Like there is no like, all right, cool, nothing
Well,
changes. And he's been holding that grudge since that day, since that moment.
and that's fair. And he seems utterly disinterested in changing it anytime soon.
Yeah, I do think he's very rigid. It's very old world. It's very Eastern, to say the least. Like he's very rigid. Like you're with me or you're not, and
Yes, it's giving Autumn
um
Empire.
we're not. It's not gonna be pieces pieces work, to say the least.
Yes. Oh my
Um
gosh.
yeah, so I mean I think we gotta watch them. I think they'll do well just for nothing else because Turbo's Turbo's an athlete. He's competitive. He does not come on these things to be showed up by the other
Hmm.
men. Like he wants to be top leader of everything. And Nany, not for nothing, is very good at these things. I'm waiting for the boiling point. I'm waiting for the tipping point where, because I know we've seen that clip of her yelling a few times. It was at the top of the episode as well.
Yes.
Um,
It's too early for this, babe.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's too early
Hmm.
for this ish.
Hmm.
And so I'm waiting for that and see what brings that on. And I think it was at him as well. If they can
Definitely.
get past that, if they can get to a final, they're in good shape.
Nobody said they have to be friends. They just got to be able to work together.
They just got to be able to work together.
Hmm.
I'm not really concerned about Amber and Fessy. I think they'll be able to work together, no problem. Like I
They
don't
don't
think,
seem, yeah, like you said, they don't seem to be as angry with, like some
yeah.
people are angry with each other, or at least one half of the party is extremely agitated when thinking
Mm-hmm.
about Steve and Adam. But they just seem they're kind of like just kind of like, oh, you're here, I'll be here, you be here, but it's not like agitation like some of these people.
What did you think about Ashley Mitchell?
I tried
She
to
got
remember.
she got a whole little mini trailer in the thing. I was like, she got a highlight reel.
She did. I was going into it thinking that you love her. And I'm hoping that she grows on me like Carolyn did on the Traders.
No, no, tell me what you think. You don't have to like her. I love
I thought
her.
she was agitating.
Oh, I love
I,
her.
I knew you did, and
You got
I can see why
I
you love her. I
I stood
can.
up and clapped at that little mini trailer.
I mean, I'm never gonna she's not agitating me for any of like the little trailer reasons, but just because I was like, oh, we
We
seem to
didn't get a
be,
lot of her in the episode. Most of what we
yeah.
got is just those few moments of
Mhm.
flashbacks, like within the show when they're talking, introducing us to the rivals concept as if we're new here. They spent 20 minutes on that. Then nothing to do with you. You're new here, but most of us aren't.
That's fair. That's fair.
They spent 20 minutes introducing us to these people that we've known for years. Like
Yeah,
let's get to it. We could have probably got an elimination round in there now, couldn't we?
probably could have
I'm
though.
excited about this elimination round though. It better be big. It better be something big.
I
Did
love
we
this.
we already talked about Nicole and Melissa, right?
Oh yeah, they are going to implode.
I think the last kind of duo that we really need to talk about are Beth and John A. In my list, I have Beth and John A as 12th, as the second out. And I did this before watching the episode. And I feel like I might be accurate there.
Where do you remember where did I put them?
You put them as six.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that is inaccurate, truly.
I have them here largely because of Beth. I didn't think Beth would be one, Beth always has enemies on these shows. She rarely has actual friends. And two, I don't see a world where Jonna, like I know Jonna loves money. I know Jonna loves competing. I know she's the queen of all stars. She wants to hold on to that legacy. I don't know that I see a world where Jonna just comes in with Beth and is just like, yeah, you try to break, you told lies about me cheating on my husband and have put me in 2 years of marital counseling. But like, it's all good because we can go earn $300,000. Like, I don't know that I'd forgive someone and just be able to put that to the side and work with them
I
too.
really don't think so. I think
Because
John
it,
Ace, go
go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry. I was like, gonna say, because it was just like an absolutely baseless lie. And like, honestly, I blame the production team too. Y'all did not have to include that in the edit.
Oh, that is a very, very good point. And I think Janae says it herself that like I like it. She says something like an eye for an eye, like it wasn't a proportionate response to like whatever Beth thought what she was responding to.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. And I think I said this during regular season challenge stuff that I understand like gameplay up to a point of messing with somebody's life outside of this situation.
Yeah, Shane said the similar thing. He says
Yeah.
Beth doesn't like really seem to understand these unspoken rules about how we engage in conflict on this show and how
Mm-hmm.
why people's
Mm-hmm.
personal lives should be left out of it. And he's largely correct. I do think that like outside of the John A thing, most of Beth's other like beefs with women on the show don't really have a lot to do with her crossing a line with them versus them just
Mm-hmm.
not like
Okay.
already just not liking her and having like a
Yeah.
preconceived notion about her. And I do think Beth got caught up in the like TV making of it all. But yeah, like go ahead.
No, like no, that's what I was gonna say. Like 2 years of marital counseling, like that's a that's how I don't want to say that people I'm gonna say it anyway. Like it the length of time in marital counseling indicates to me that the problem was like not a small one, right?
Yeah. Well,
And
I
so
think I made that 2 years. Maybe it's like a year, but I think I was being
well, she
hyperbolic.
says that's fair, but I think
Oh,
Janae
maybe
says
she did say
something.
years.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
she says years. Like years of marital counseling for a problem, or for a multitude of problems, that's a lot of really hard work. And
Mm-hmm.
you can tell by Janae's general energy whenever they're like standing next to each other that she's like
Mm-hmm.
really I like yeah, she's mad and a lot of other people are mad, but she's more than anything, she seems like incredibly uncomfortable in Beth's presence.
True.
And that I feel like is a little bit different than like being mad at somebody.
Yeah. I yeah. I also just I don't. I also hope they don't go far because I do not want to live in a world where almost destroying someone's marriage is just a cute little reality
Agreed.
TV like
Agreed.
formatting rivals. Like we're just no, we're not rivals. Like you're my arch nemesis. You're an enemy.
Yeah. I think
Like
yeah, free John A from this. Plus, apparently you can steal the money at the end.
I actually hope that's not a twist this season.
Okay.
It was introduced on Rivals 3 where we saw
Mm-hmm.
Bananas take the money, and then Vendettas, which is all like Rivals 4 unofficially, is just with a new name. Um, because the formatting kind of changed. But like I largely hope they don't. In the two iterations that we've seen it, the person has stolen the money.
That seems crazy. That's the clip we get of Mitch, isn't it?
Money Mitch, Millionaire
Yeah.
Mitchell. That's how she got Millionaire Mitchell.
Yes, that clarified that for me, and I was really appreciative of that. But like, yeah, I hope for John A's sake that they go home early because this is just like it makes me
Yeah.
uncomfortable in a similar way that Laurel and Cara Maria make me uncomfortable, where it's like not really about the game anymore. It's kind of like I don't really want to see this.
Yeah, I will say like Laurel and Carr only make me uncomfortable when they're actually fighting. Like this is like just generally like every time I see Beth on screen, I'm just like, you're here because you lied on a lady's marriage. Like you're here because you lied about a woman's relationship to a man that she had nothing romantic going with. Like
Oy, oy, oy,
just
oy.
just to fight her in a game that you
Exactly.
weren't even interested enough in to like actually compete because you ended up quitting like and leaving
Ooh,
early. Like, right? Like it clearly wasn't like that important to you. Like you weren't, not that this would make it better, but you weren't lying to like secure the money or secure your place in the game. Like you weren't lying for success.
no, no, but I think that's
you were
fair.
you were lying for the she was lying for sport, and that's crazy.
That yeah, she just no, I hope not. I hope they go home just so John A can be free of this.
Yeah, yeah. I think like I do think John A. I understand it's All Stars is kind of her thing. I think John A. shouldn't have been casted on this. If they really wanted her back, they should have just saved her for 41 and let her go do that and leave this mess from here. Because also like honestly, like even if I was her husband and like this was we were in like if this was my spouse and we were in this like reconciling our marriage or this reconciliatory period, I don't know. Like I don't know that I want to see, especially seeing like the damage that it's done to her emotionally outside of the
Exactly.
show. I don't know that I want to see her in a space with that person because not only did you attack her, you attacked me too. Like I feel some type of way about you, and I never met you.
Exactly.
Um,
Yes. Like truly. I know. I hope they go home just to free Johnny and her family from this.
yeah,
And also
free John A.
I really don't really want to look at Beth that much. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Beth, I like Beth. Beth is a fun villain for me always on this show.
Hmm.
Here, it's like crazy, especially the way she spoke about it. Like when she first sits in the hammock and talks to Shane, she's so flippant. Like she doesn't seem to like really understand the gravity of it. And when she sits and
Absolutely
talks
not.
with John A, and John A's like, "You're a mom, you're married. Like, what would you think? Like, how would this impact you if it was?" Anytime you got to say that to somebody for them to like see their wrongdoings, they're kind of not a good person.
No, it really should not have taken that much. And she just I don't know anything about Beth outside of literally this, but it just seemed like incredibly insincere, especially paralleled with the hammock conversation with Shane.
Fact.
I was like, nah, I don't believe it. I don't believe that you're sorry, Queen.
Alrighty then. Do you want to get
Hmm.
to the challenge?
The challenge?
Yeah, we
Yes.
continue to just kind of reminisce and reminisce. I think we've covered most of what we need to pre here.
Hmm.
I mean, we did see Nany try to talk to Turbo. He said, "Baby, it's too cold in that house. It's too
That
cold."
was hilarious. I know it wasn't intended to be hilarious, but it really was.
No,
Genuinely.
you know what? I get it. I mean, I love the AC. I'm not one of them. Um, I'm not one of them. I need it to be 54 right now.
Yes. Thermostat
Um,
never above 67. Never ever. Uh-oh.
sorry, I was
You're
trying
fine.
to look something up, but why am I looking?
I didn't know.
But that boy said, you know what? I am a Turk. I'm from the desert.
It's too cold in that house.
It's too cold. It gets cold in Turkey though. Like it gets cold in Turkey. I don't know why he
You just
acting
don't
up.
want nothing to do with
Maybe he
Nani.
maybe he his part of Turkey where he's from is like, nah, we don't drop below 75. But it gets cold in Turkey. It's like
It gets
yeah.
cold in the desert at night.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's the
yeah.
whole thing with the desert. It doesn't hold heat. It just you get surrounded by sun.
All right, let's get to the challenge.
Hmm.
Sorry.
No,
Let
it's
me
fine.
pull it up. So this challenge was called Frenemies.
Yes, it was.
And
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say our teams are chained together, latched together by a small little attachment, and they
Hmm.
have to work their way across a field that I think we saw a few times on the Challenge 40, while working through three checkpoints. So they have a mud bath checkpoint where they have to use their bodies to collect mud from a mud pit and fill a tube up
Hmm.
to a line.
Hmm.
And then the second one is an ice transfer where they have to transfer an ice block using two little chopsticks things.
Yeah.
And how many did they have to transfer? Just two ice cubes, right? Three ice cubes.
Enough ice cubes to put the ball over the line.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you're
Yes.
right.
Hmm.
To
Yeah.
displace the water up to a
Yeah.
line. And then the third one is a balance gurney. no, ball and
Ball
gurney,
and Gurney. Yeah,
and they have to
intersection.
balance four balls in either corner while they collect four sandbags.
Something like that. Yes.
Yes. And then
Yes.
the first four teams to finish will earn themselves a star. Maddie, you had a question about the star.
What is a star and what does it
So the
do?
star is basically your pass to participate in the finals. If you get to the
Okay.
end of the game without a star, you cannot, you're automatically eliminated. You cannot participate in the final. So
Okay.
in order to run the final, you have to earn a star, and you can earn a star by either winning a daily challenge or winning an elimination round.
Okay. But you don't keep your star.
Yes, you don't keep your stars. So today, our four winners of this challenge were Adam and Steve. Who Adam really hates Steve. Steve is quite clueless that that he's persona non grata, like,
Adam and
to
Steve, not
Adam.
Adam and Eve.
And Devin and Leroy, or
Hmm
Devroy, um,
I love Deborah.
Ashley K and Dario, which,
hmm
Ashley, be the change you want to see. She was the leader today, and look, she led them to victory. Ain't none to it but to do it. And then
She is the
Nany
man
and
she
Turbo, who
wants.
cut it kind of close, but ultimately got the win, just eked out a win over Big T and Corey.
Hmm
So again, we know Nany and Turbo are going to compete well. Are they going to be able to put aside their hatred for each other every single time to compete at this level? That's the real question of this season.
Yeah.
But yeah. So these four got a star. So there'll be an I don't know how many stars total they're gonna give out. Sometimes they'll give out more stars than like finals places. Sometimes it might be only four, and you're just kind of rotating for one of those four stars until the end of
That
the
was
game.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
But I'm not sure how it's gonna work here this season. But for now, we know there are four-star holders. Now, what I'm curious to see is in the elimination round, does whoever win get to steal a star, which is what we did. We gave out, I think, four women and four. We gave out 8 total stars last season.
hmm
Those were the only that ones that were in circulation, and then any other person that went in had to steal from one of those people. So I don't know if these
hmm
ones are available for theft off the bat, or maybe they'll give out another star and make it 5 stars, and then every subsequent elimination there will be one up for theft.
Okay. So they're basically they're whoa. They're not points, they're placeholders.
They're placeholders, yes.
Thank you.
Right
Okay.
now, if the finals were to start today, these are the only 4 teams that would be eligible to
Okay.
compete.
And then over the
So
course, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
like, for example, like if we go, let's say they gave out a 5th star to the winner of the elimination round. Now there are 5, and they go, that's the last one we're giving out. Now there are 5 stars. So you would win if you won on the day. You would basically be safe from elimination round, but you aren't getting a star, and you would either vote the teams in, or you can volunteer
Mm,
yourself in to get a star. So, for example, if you win on a day, let's say you win, and then like the last place team that's automatically going in or something is like a weak team, like, I don't want to say anybody, but let's say it's like a team that you are confident. Let's say you're I guess both of the male pairs won today, which is crazy. But
who's
like,
Jonna and Beth?
no. I was gonna say, let's say you're a strong team like Fessy and Amber, and you're like, we can pretty much beat anybody here. But then
Mhm.
something happens, and a really weak team goes in, like I would say even like Anissa and Ashley, or Shauna and Beth, and
Mhm.
one of those teams go in, and you're like, oh yeah, we can definitely beat them. You can just be you instead of like nominating another team to go in against
Yeah.
them and like holding on to safety as winners of the challenge on the day, you can just volunteer yourself in and be like, I'm gonna go get my start right now. And
Okay.
we know, because we're a strong team, it's less likely that anybody who wins is actually going to steal one from us or come and challenge us for our stars. So we can just
Okay.
get ours and hold on to it and sit pretty, or you can get yours and then just continue winning, so your star is never at risk.
Okay. I will be interested to see how this plays out in real time because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I understand it, but I will be excited to see.
Any other questions?
Mm, no, no.
So yeah, we get that from the challenge on the day. Big T and Corey, not for nothing, looked a lot better than I expected. We saw Sam struggling. we saw Jonna and Beth, who didn't seem to have made it past the first checkpoint today. So that was interesante.
Mhm.
Um, and then Fessy and Amber kind of shit the bed. They were leading up to checkpoint 2 and
Yeah.
then could not figure out the ice transfer, and
Yeah.
ultimately fell out of that top 4. But they were right there. They were probably gonna come in 6. I mean, they really fell out of the top 4. I think they were gonna fell into like 6 or 7, but it didn't matter because we I wish they would have made everybody else finish just so I can see it. But they once we got 4 teams, they stopped them.
Oh, yes,
Um,
they did. Clearly, the ice strategy, some people figured this out that instead of like being opposite and holding, like being next to each other and creating like a little
I
two
would
rail
have just taken both
system.
sticks and just carry. Why are we doing this? Like, give me them sticks, man. Like, I would have just carried it myself. Like,
I thought the rules was where you couldn't do that. Like you had
I
to do
saw
everything
people doing
together.
that. I clearly saw teams where one person was just like holding it. Who did I see? It was like Davon and Shane. Shane was just holding it and Davon was just holding on to him.
Hmm, interesting. Okay, well, fair enough. I my only thing was like if it took long enough, like would all of your ice melt?
They had a thing. It would have stayed cold for quite some time is what I'm trying to
Okay.
say. They had a thing with all the with a bunch of ice cubes in there. They would have just kept each other cold.
Okay, because I was just like,
They
what?
would have melted and gotten smaller in size, but they you probably wouldn't have ran out of ice.
That's true. Fair enough.
You would have had to transfer more ice though to displace the same
That
amount
was
of
exactly
water.
what I was thinking to displace to get the little ball. I would just like to say that whoever finished the mud thing first and they showed us their completed mud thing, it did not look like that mud was full past the line.
There was one that is just like barely touched it. It touched the
Yeah.
bottom of the tape, and I was like, and that's good enough. Look at
Hmm.
how far we've fallen.
I was just kind of like, I don't know if I trust that.
But the very last thing we see is Nany and Turbo having their very dramatic conversation,
Yes.
and we
We're
see we see this thing devolves quickly. I don't know how long they talked, but like I think Nany was wearing like a shirt or a sweater, and yeah, she was wearing like a shirt, and then like it flashed, or maybe it was like clips from future arguments to come, but it flashed, and she was wearing like a beater, like a tank top, and then it flashed back to Turbo, and he was in a whole different position, like
I think that
laying
was
down.
like multiple
Okay,
arguments
yeah.
flashed together.
So this is gonna be a theme for them, I guess.
Yes.
But that's where we end. We get a nice little
Mhm.
super trailer. Dario and Devin go at it at some point in the super trailer. Uh,
Yes.
Melissa and Nicole are gonna go at it in the future, including they're gonna dance together.
I thought
I
they were
heard
gonna
the
go
word,
at it
I heard the
multiple
phrase
ways.
"pick me girl" 2 times, and I hate it because I hate "pick me girl" as a phrase. The term is "pick me." You don't need to.
Oh, yes. First of all, I hate that. And I think they were talking about whoever it was talking about Anissa.
Anissa, no, no. Ashley said it about Anissa, and I think Amber said it one time about herself. Amber refers
Oh,
to herself as not a pick me girl, and then Ashley calls Anissa a pick me girl. This is why you can't let the whites discover things because what do you mean a pick me girl? It's just pick me, babe.
it's just a pick me. And you can be a pick me of any gender, not to put too fine of a point on it. But yeah, I don't know. And I was about to say something kind of ageist. I feel like it's a phrase that's too young for them. Is that me?
It's not necessarily too young for them, but it's clear that it's not a phrase that's in their lexicon. So
Normal vocab. Yeah.
just leave it. It's like speaking a language that you don't really like me when I use Spanish, and I just
You do a
and
decent job.
and sometimes it's just grammatically incorrect.
That's
Like,
all that,
but
well,
we
yeah.
ball because it's just a little sazon, it's just a little coloring, a little
And there
flavoring.
you go, right back into it. I love it. Actually, I have no complaints about your
It's
use of
endearing when
Spanish.
I do it, but it's disgusting when you do it. That's it.
Foul. Yes, that's fair.
That's it. We get that little super trailer. I didn't care to go and dissect everything because I don't want to be like, oh, I
No.
think this is gonna come up and this. We'll see it when it happens. Um,
Oh,
I
sorry.
don't know. The mission seemed kind of underwhelming from what I've seen on there, but we'll see more of it in the future.
Yeah.
Um, any other thoughts?
No, I'm just excited to see how eliminations work. That's pretty
Yeah,
much it. Yeah.
same.
But other than that, no, not really. I'm assuming it's a shorter season because we have fewer people and we're
Um,
teaming,
yes,
getting rid of teams.
precisely.
Yes, there we go.
It's typically, I think I told you this before. A typical All Star season is around 12 episodes. It's between like 10 and 12 episodes. Um, I think seasons 1 through 3 were 10 episodes. Like season 1 was like 9 episodes, and episode 10 was the reunion. And then the other ones, season 2 and 3 were 10 episodes, and I think last season we had 12 episodes.
Okay. Okay.
All right, take us out.
Well, y'all, thank you for watching this episode of the Reality Roundup where we talk about the Challenge All Stars rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what season of this? Five?
Mm-hmm.
Of All Stars? Okay. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share below in the description box if I'm on top of it. And also look at this playlist for other episodes related to the Challenge All Stars rival, and look at our other stuff for our other shows that we watch,
Facts.
including things that are upcoming, like a new season of Love is Blind.
Thank
Again.
you. Bye
Yes.
bye.
Bye.